Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoraida Cordero. Thank you for all that are here. I am proud to be here with Children First today. We are here as the next cohort of advocates fighting on behalf of children and youth in the city of Philadelphia. Everyone here with me has taken time off to come to City Hall and ask the members of City Council to act big on behalf of kids with this year's budget. We want City Council to know that they have a rare opportunity before them. There's a new mayor, a new council president, and many new members of City Council. This presents a real opportunity here to create a positive and sustainable shift for Philadelphia. Presenting a real opportunity here to create a positive, sustainable shift for Philadelphia. To show those of us who live and work in the city that City Council is serious about fighting poverty and healing our neighborhoods from gun violence and doing this from the ground up, which means intentionally centering kids. We are here with a group of champions with facts on how kids in Philadelphia are actually doing, citywide and in every councilmanic district. We want council members to have an accurate picture about what kids and families they represent when making a decision for this year's budget. Without further ado, I will now have some of our advocate parents come here and walk us through some of the data that we found. Thank you.
Jazmin Banks, and I am an advocate of Children First. I'm also a parent who has raised 15 children as a former foster parent, and I'm an adoptive parent of 5 older sons who live with various disabilities ranging from autism, intellectual disability, bipolar, schizophrenia, reactive attachment disorder, seizure disorder, trait dependence, feeding tubes, cerebral palsy, etc. I live in the lower northeast section of the city known as Frankfurt. I speak to you today from the lived experience of over 30 years of dedication and sacrifice to nurturing and shaping children's lives from the front lines and the trenches. I'd like to say that first and foremost, we want our city council to get to know our children, whether they are in public or charter schools, to know we cannot afford any cuts to the school district of Philadelphia's budget. I say this in particular because across the city, only 34% of our children pass the English and Language Arts PSSA, and only 19% pass the Math PSSA. As I'm sure we all agree, these numbers are unacceptable. They are nowhere near high enough for our children to be able to compete in an ever-growing competitive world. But they reflect the chronic underfunding of our district. As mentioned, I'm a real parent who has raised many children, who have attended many schools throughout the district, too many to mention here. And now I'm helping my grandchildren and great nieces and nephews to successfully thrive in the district. So I can honestly say that the students need much more, and they deserve much more. They need dedicated teachers. Thank you. Thank you very much. They need dedicated teachers in front of their classrooms every day to guide them. They need comfortable classrooms where they don't have to worry about mold and asbestos, so they can concentrate and learn, no matter what the weather is outside or the social conditions. They need a commitment from the city to make sure that the city is complementing the work of the state in funding our schools, so that the gains the district has made these last few years are not lost because of the district is facing a fiscal cliff. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Margaret Di Santo. I'm an advocate for Children's First. I'm a grandparent to a 4-year-old young boy who is very happy with pre-K. I live in the 3rd Ward in West Philadelphia. We want our city council to know that in Philadelphia, only 42% of kids are enrolled in a high-quality pre-K. And that number is too low. We need to do better. We all know that the best way to ensure that children graduate high school, land well-paying jobs, family-sustaining jobs, and stay out of the criminal justice system is to start young by enrolling them in a high-quality pre-K program. We know that when kids are enrolled in pre-K, the children are able to be screened for learning deficiencies early on, and families are able to get the support they need. Well, before the child enters elementary school, we also know that high-quality child care allows parents to work, which is something of very importance. Philadelphia should be proud that we have Philly Pre-K, a universal child care program that allows families to enroll their kids in high-quality pre-K regardless of income. My kids were enrolled in Philly Pre-K, and I don't know what I would have done without that program. I'm currently a teacher at a Philly Pre-K program at the Academy, Asada Academy, and there we have about 15 students. We can take up to 20. So this is one of the problems. We don't know if parents are not understanding that this is important for their children. So I ask today, that's why we need City Council to push the 42% up. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Geanna Williams. I am also an advocate for Children's First, and I'm a parent to 2 sons, adult sons, but I have 8 grandchildren. And I live in West Philadelphia in the 4th District. This morning, we're going to present a more sobering stat to our city council members. That is the number of shootings victims under the age of 19. That number in 2023, is 243. That's 243 shooting victims under the age of 19. And as I know all of y'all would agree with me, that number should be 0. That number should be 0, not just because we shouldn't lose kids to guns. We need to stop violence in the city, period. And especially from getting worse. That means investing in young people. That means making sure our kids have enriching activities to do after school and over the summer and on the weekends as well, because I know that things happen over the weekend as well. So that means making sure every kid has trusting adults in their lives, in their circles, to support them through the years so they can process things and learn how to deal with conflict productively, which is so important because our kids really struggle with dealing with how to just handle conflict with one another. It's really sad. Violence begets violence. Every time a kid dies from gun violence, we are exposing kids to trauma. And I'm sorry, this is something very near and dear to me because it's just too many of our babies dying unnecessarily. Exposing kids to trauma, which can put them down the wrong path if it's not addressed. That's why we need to make sure our kids are surrounded with supports that they need to stay encouraged and adults that can mentor and guide them through this thing called life.
Good morning. My name is Jazmin Banks. I'm an advocate for Children First. I live in the northeast part of the city. Most importantly, I'm a mother to a daughter that lives in the city and sits in the city's public charter school seats. I come before you today to shed light on an often overlooked aspect of the city's young people. The 94% who attend school peacefully without fights or disruption and aspire to a future free from violence and crime. While the headlines may focus on the challenges we face, it's essential to recognize the resilience and potential to our young people. Let us consider the following. Despite the narrative portrayed in the media, 94% of our city's youth simply want to pursue their education without fear of violence or disruption. It's crucial to understand that the violence plaguing our streets does not originate from our young people. While they may be affected by it, they are not the root cause. Therefore, we may have an opportunity to address this issue at its source. I acknowledge that young people may sometimes make mistakes. However, these errors should not define their future. Instead, they should present opportunities for intervention and growth. Research spanning decades has consistently shown that incarcerating youth as a means of accountability is ineffective and counterproductive. Instead of fostering rehabilitation and learning, it often leads to further entrapment in the cycle of crime and history repeating itself. Our priority should be to provide support and guidance to young people, even when they falter, by offering alternatives to incarceration, such as diversion and support programs. We can help them learn from their mistakes by teaching them to take accountability, get to the root of the problems, and make meaningful choices for their future. That can only be achieved through alternatives that offer long-term sustainable results. In essence, investing in quality diversion programs is not just a matter of budget allocation, it's an investment in the future of Philadelphia. By nurturing our young people and guiding them towards paths of success and resilience, we can and should contribute to a safer and more prosperous community for now and for generations to come. Our city is our responsibility, and that includes fostering our young people even if they're showing up in ways that we may disagree with. We need to guide them through their journey and not force them there. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Shavon Almodovar. I'm an advocate here with Children First. I represent First, my 3 boys, Kaden, who's 11, Kamari, that's 9, and Kimani, that's 5. And I'm also standing up here for all children out here. And I'm here to let City Council know what we need to have happen. As you have heard, we have heard from 4 parents who shared data points and how kids are doing in Philly. We want City Council to know that they can act now. We have 4 asks at City Council that can move the needle on each one of the data points that we've talked about today. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm a little emotional. One, we want City Council to increase city funding for the school district by $100 million. We want them to shift the share of the property taxes going to school from 55% to 58%. This was a campaign decision made by Mayor Carter. Now is the time we can do this. Our district is facing a fiscal cliff, and our kids cannot afford to move backwards. 2, we want 250 more PHL pre-K seats. My child is in one of them, and I thank God for it. 3, we want more investment in out-of-school time programs. Currently, Philadelphia stands to lose 8,000 OST seats that are at the district because pandemic funding is set to run out. We can't afford to lose these seats
and we are asking the city to step up. We also want more money to make sure rec centers are open with programming and our neighborhood sports teams have adequate resources to expand. Rec centers that are closed and activated aren't good for anyone. We need to make sure that kids are safe and engaged after school and during the summer months. 4, we want the city to reinvest all the money it saves in reduced juvenile justice spending and diversion programs. We are on the right track by keeping the kids away from prison, and it is time to bolster the supports that we already have in place. Again, now it's time for City Council to act big. Show Philadelphia that you are serious about the fresh start to get things done for our kids.
At this time, we will open up the room for any questions. Are there any questions from media? And also, just so you know, I can answer some questions, but we have wonderful advocates here today that can also respond.
I have a question. How can people that are watching this on TV contact Children First so they can get involved in this conversation?
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. So if y'all want to get involved, you can contact me. My name is Symbol Lai, the Philadelphia Mobilization Policy Director at Children First. I can spell out my email address, but I also have my card. My email is symboL@childrenfirstpa.org. We are here today to visit every single city council member in this building to let them know what our budget asks are. We have a lot of advocates and parents with us throughout the day to meet with city council members. And we are dead set, if you heard everyone speaking, we're dead set on making sure that the final budget includes our 4 asks. Again, that is more investment in city schools, more PHL pre-K seats, investment in OST sector, including saving 8,000 seats and slated to be lost in the district, and making sure rec centers are open and activated so kids can go to them, making sure every dollar that we save on putting less kids in prison goes into diversion programs so we can keep them out of prison and kids can learn how to make mistakes safely without throwing their life away. So if there are any other questions from the media, please come up to us right here. We can get you linked up with any of the parent supporters that we have and advocates that we have going throughout the day. We are in City Hall all day, folks. We're going to have so much fun. Thank you so much.